being on our board and helper. She was in the ministry, the prayer ministry, when the sisters came to Anacortes, and she felt that if the prayer ministry had an outgoing, or what was it, something to help them be part of and supporting, prayer ministries survive. And so she said, sisters, we will help you. And then our last member at large is Vi. She's been helping with registration other years, but sometimes it's good to have somebody else do it.
She's from Moses Lake.
So,
And I'm from Moses Lake.
if some people take our picture, we would appreciate it and send it to me so that we have a group picture of our board. We'd appreciate it. Oh, I should bring up Father, wait, we have one more. Father is our spiritual director, Father Paul.
Yay.
So I have a coffee mug for each one of them.
Coffee mug, yeah!
Okay. At least I thought I did. I only have 5 of them.
We can get them later.
Well, I get them from Shutterfly.
I don't need one.
So, before they leave, I mentioned Trish Bostrom on this pilgrimage, and she was the president of Healing Outreach, and she's here at this retreat today. And so, if you will come up here, Trish.
Oh.
Hello,
We
Trish.
have this plaque made for her almost a year ago, and this is the first time we're getting together with her. But this is, Janet Reisling was on the pilgrimage with Trish and sister, and it says, Healing Outreach, a 501c3 nonprofit started in 1990 to fund and support Christian healing ministries. It supported St. Joseph Healing Ministries classes on the prayer ministry and its annual retreat. Since 2011, over 1,000 have attended the retreat, and over 200 have come on scholarships from people donating through Healing Outreach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you, Cassie.
So, so I was in California, and I wasn't feeling so, I was feeling poorly, and a friend of mine said, Kathy, watch these tapes. And the other one said, and don't watch them alone. They're on the healing ministry. So I had 9 people show up at my house. I invited people that I thought might have the gift of healing. A friend of mine was a masseuse. She worked with her hands on healing people. I invited her. I invited people who were prayers. So we're 9 people. Now, I didn't review the tapes ahead of time. So we watched the first one, and it said, well, after this lesson, you're to pray with one another. Or pray. She didn't say with one another. She just said pray. I had never prayed with people before. So when the tape ended, I got up and walked across the living room and turned off the machines, and I said, Lord, what do I say? And I walked back and sat down and rested in the Spirit. When you're resting in the Spirit, you can think, you just can't move. And you can't speak. And I said, Lord, they're expecting me to start the prayer. Lord, this is my house. They expect me to start the prayer. Everybody, all 9, rested in the Spirit for 20 minutes. One was complained, who was a jittery guy, "Kathy, are you forcing us into contemplative prayer?" So we didn't learn to pray over one another. We had more of a silent prayer service after our classes. So when Sister came down to Wairika to graduate that group, the ones who gave me the tape, they told them there's a new group in Etna. And she says, "I never heard of this group." And so they came to my house and stayed at my house, these movie stars. You know, when you watch them, 11 discs, 21 classes, they're movie stars, come to your house. I had the priest come over, and my sons were there. And they spent the night, and we agreed that we weren't going to graduate that year, because we didn't. It is a prayer to pray with people. So we took the classes the second time, and they came down the second time, and that group, they graduated. But I still didn't pray with people. It was really hard for me. I had a friend that was affected the same way at the same time. It's amazing that you might have a whole church go to the Life in the Spirit seminar, and maybe only 3 of you are really affected by it, in which I want to spend my life with God. And so she said, we'd pray for hours. We got call waiting at that time. And finally I prayed, "Oh, Kathy, that was so beautiful." And lo and behold, shortly after that, I joined Sister Mary Matthew, living with her. And we sat in the chapel, and I prayed with her. "Kathy, that was so beautiful. How long have you been praying that way?" 2 weeks. So the Lord helps you at the time. And He got me in with Sister Mary Matthew. It was a wonderful 15 years being her prayer partner, her activity partner. She had the dream of climbing Mount Adams. And so I was the one that, "Come on, let's go get in shape, sister. We have to go on a hike." And she was 75 to 80 years old when we were doing this. I think when she was 80, she got pneumonia, and that was the end. But she died when she was 85. So this is, have a few more minutes. You know, when the power of God, I want to say a few things about that. If you're charismatic, you felt the love of God. That really changes you. A charismatic person is changed. Just like the apostles were changed on Pentecost. And that's part of the definition. How you were changed or how it affected you is individual. But that's a common. You felt God's love. So some of you, now with me it was 92. That's when I felt it. And I had a lot of supernatural experiences. And I think God gives those to you to get you, hook you, roll you in, saying, "Lord, I give my life to you." And then they stop. And you wonder, what did I do wrong? And life goes on. Hurts happen. And hurts come from people you love. They come from your children. They come from your spouse. They come from your best friend. And pretty soon you wonder, do I love it all? Do I love God? My heart feels like a rock. I have a stony heart. He hasn't given me a heart of flesh anymore. That's gone. That heart of flesh, that heart of love that I had is all gone. Now it's a heart of stone. And I say to the Lord, please take my heart of stone, put it in your pocket like a worry stone, and rub it and turn it into love again. Lately on my reels on Facebook, I forgot the name of the family, Johanssons, I think they are, Brian Johansson, and he has, Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, and all he can move is his eyes. And the reels show his children taking care of him, and they tease him and say, all you see is his eyes sparkling as he watches what are you going to do to me next, you know. And the reels end with the word love. And I thought, that's a funny word to put at the end of those reels. But the more I'm meditating on the word love, that's their service. That's their children's service to their father. That's how they show their father love. He can't feel them when he hugs them, because he can't feel anything. But he can think and he can move. And so they take care of him. And they make sure that with these reels they're showing the public, he's part of our life. We don't have him off in a bedroom someplace. We get him up and dressed in the morning and he's out with us, doing things with us. And this is love. And that's like putting on this retreat. This is love. This is how we show our love. And whether we're going to feel it again, we hope so. That's what we're hoping for, that this retreat fills us with the grace to love again and takes away our stony heart. But this is what we want. Love. And that's the power of God. We felt the power of God. We're feeling it. Before we came, Anacortes Mass Friday morning, we were going to go, and then, no, we aren't going to go because we're going to go to Mass Friday night. We aren't going to go to Mass. We're just going to take off early in the morning before Mass starts. But then Thursday, Father Mel announces, we're having the Archbishop come and say Mass for us tomorrow morning. And so I sent out an email, and Susan didn't get it. I said, the Archbishop we're going to be leaving after Mass. So here we are in church, and Father Mel, Susan had already told Father Mel we aren't going to go because she got get the email, and she was outside waiting for me to show up. And so here we show up at the Mass, and Father Mel at the end of Mass said, will the people going to the retreat come forward for a blessing from the Archbishop? And talk about feeling the grace, just, you can feel it as a presence just pouring down from you. What a wonderful way to start the retreat, is this blessing from the Archbishop. But Father Mel usually gives us a blessing before we leave, and it was really nice to have. So I want to talk about the power of God, and I introduced it. I have books, a few books in the back. These two books, I have Sister's book, Angels and the Power of Prayer. These books are $60, and the Sister's book is $10. My book is Song of Hope is $12. If you're interested, see me about them, and because there's lots more books than I have put out there. They're underneath the table. So don't say, oh, I'll let somebody else get that book. No, you get that book. So thank you very much, and God bless you. And I hope all of you come next year for our 50th. If any of you have a good theme, we'll consider it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for that history. That is very powerful. Very powerful. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule. So we could take a few minute break if you need a break. Do we need to? Yes, do you have an announcement?